One book.
Two minds.
No guarantees that we'll agree.
I'm MJ.
I'm Alan, and this is Shelf Talkers. This month, we're talking about The Secret History by Donna Tartt.
So before we get together to talk about the book, we're going to show each other's separate thoughts.
MJ is going to talk about the book in general in a moment, but neither of us have discussed this book. So we'll be watching our thoughts with you for the first time. And we haven't spoken about this book until today. So will we both be in agreement, or will our opinions on this book be poles apart? Who knows? We'll find out in a moment, won't we?
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Hi MJ, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, and you?
I think, I think our discussion is going to be pretty interesting regarding this book. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm interested to watch listen to your thoughts for the first time, and yeah, it's I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how you found the book, but I think our opinions might differ a bit, but we'll see.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Now my interest is really, really peaked. All right. So I'm going to roll into my review of the book,
Yep,
and then we're going to come back and we're going to roll into your review, and then we'll have a little chit chat at the end.
yeah, let's do it.
All right. Sounds good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shelf Talkers. This month, we are focusing on The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book has been on my forever TBR for a very, very long time. This is the book that defines dark academia. This is the Bible of dark academia. And I can understand why. My preconceptions of this book: it was going to be a lush experience. It's a chunk of a book. I knew it was going to have that aesthetic, that vibe that people strive for when they talk about dark academia, okay? If you've never read The Secret History, the first line of the book sets the entire stage for the book. It is one of the most powerful things that I've ever read. I'll say, well, it's really the first two paragraphs. This is going to mostly be spoiler free in the event that you have not read it. Okay, so it's not a spoiler to state that the first two paragraphs talk about a death and allude to people being involved with that death. And the story unravels from there. The story starts, and there is a huge arc with an interesting ending. So we have our main protagonist, Richard. Richard is from the West Coast, California, and he comes to this very preppy, very exclusive college in Vermont. And he tries to reinvent himself a little bit. He's not like the others. He's not, his parents aren't successful. He doesn't have mailbox money. He has to earn what he has. He thrifts. He has a very wanton, his personality is very wanton of that lifestyle. But he was not born into that lifestyle. But he tries to assimilate and he tries to acclimate himself to that group because his intelligence gives him the pass to be in that group. He is our narrator during this story. When Richard lands at Hampton College, he's very passive. I think by choice. And Richard wants to be a part of something. He desperately wants to be a part of this group. And this group is Greek studies. So, he writes Greek, he speaks Greek. He's not a casual observer to things that go on in the group. He is very intentional, but he's also, if this is a phrase I can use, he's actively withdrawn. So he's withdrawn, but he's involved in this whole experience. An experience meaning from when he first gets to Hampton College, to being integrated with the group, to learning about something that happened in the woods, to the murder of their classmate and friend and being involved in that, and then the fallout afterwards. And he's frustrating. He is a frustrating character to read. So we have Richard. We also have their maestro of a professor, Julian. Julian comes through in a very I guess you could say he's like the opposite of the Dead Poets Society. He wants to inspire others. He wants to lift the aesthetic. He wants them to look at the lusher things that life has to offer. He's very sing-song, and he can be wishy-washy. Towards the end, he's extremely wishy-washy. We have Bunny. Bunny is my favorite character in the entire book. And I don't know what that says about me. But the first line of the book, like I said, this isn't a spoiler, it's the first line of the book. The snow in the mountains was melting, and Bunny had been dead for several weeks before we came to understand the gravity of our situation. So yes, Bunny dies. And everything after his death is what's happening behind the scenes. The conspiratorial nature, who's trusting who, things of that, trust issues. There's a lot that goes into play. Then we have ancillary characters. We have the twins, Camilla and Charles. We have Judy Poovey. Donna Tartt, for making that name, is just classic prep type language. And we have Henry and Frances. This mix of characters at times is so sad and depressing. It really is. The book is written so richly. Donna Tartt has just the most incredible way of framing an environment, of framing a mood, by picking out particulars in the room, by picking out certain adjectives to make something really hit home. Just absolute talent. Is the book a fast-paced thriller? No, it's not. This is a very dry, this is very slow burn, but it is layered and it is lush and gorgeous to read. These characters are very, I'm not going to say entitled. They're very elite. They come from important families. They come from families that have money, trust fund kids. They're not self-made. They love the finer things in life. They love good drinks. They love good food. They smoke a lot of cigarettes. This world had me for a good week and a half. And at times, I wasn't in the mood to pick it up. But I needed to know what was going to happen. I needed to know. The ending for me was a bit unfulfilling. It was interesting, extremely interesting. But I was not completely satisfied, if that makes sense. And I'm not giving spoilers here. You have to read it yourself. And if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. It's a very morally gray type of book. There's a lot of sorrow. There's a lot of morality issues. There's a lot of philosophical discussions, and some of those discussions were highlights for me. Talks of beauty, of aging, of death. So I'm going to say that I absolutely love this book. I absolutely love this book, even though at times it was a bit of a slog. I mean, it's no joke. It's a chunk. It's almost 600 pages. And I'm proud of myself for reading almost 600 pages in a week and a half. If you know me, that's not me at all. But this project, doing this with Alan, is really important to me. And I find that going back to that world, this book was originally published in 1992. I was this sophomore. I was the age of a sophomore in college when this came out. And I love everything about college. I love the architecture. I love the wood rooms. I love that earthy smell of the libraries. I'm all over it. And, you know, there's some things in my office that are kind of dark academia, but it's a part of my vibe. I can't help it. So yes, I'm going to recommend this book. I'm going to give it, it's a 5-star read. It's a 5-star read. Donna Tartt does not publish a ton of books. She is not one of those authors. But when she publishes a book, you better pay attention. Because more likely than not, it's going to be really interesting and really good. And the fact that in the introduction, she thanks Bret Easton Ellis speaks volumes to me. I love Bret Easton Ellis's work. And both of them went to college. They went to the same college. And that college is rumored to be the basis of this book. 5 stars. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. Perfect for early autumn, perfect for fall vibes. All right, and let's hear what my partner has to say.
I'm here to talk about The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is, I think, at least, quite a popular book. I have to say, right from the get-go, I struggle to understand that attraction. I appreciate it's well loved, and I appreciate that my opinion will probably be very different to many other people's. And I totally respect that other people like this book and I don't. But this is a book that if I wasn't reading it for this project, I would have DNF'd in under 100 pages. And yet this copy is 629 pages, and I read the whole thing. And right from the get-go, this has some completely objectionable characters in it. They are entitled, unstable, unpredictable fantasist liars, for want of a summary of their character, as far as I can tell. It's mostly told through the view of Richard, and then there's Charles and Camilla, who are twins, and then Francis and Bunny, and the lecturer Henry, and all of them pretty much fit that. Even the lecturer, I think, to a degree, although he starts out as a bit more of a character than he ends up being, I think. This is, I believe the term is dark academia, and if this is an example of the genre, and one that people rate, then it's probably not a genre that I think I'm going to get on with and will read in the future. I have to say, it is well written. It's a well written book. There are passages that kind of there's a big chunk at one point that is all about Greek philosophy and literature, which I have to say went a bit over my head and didn't really relate to the plot. But then there isn't a great deal of plot. There's a good story, but there isn't a great deal of plot. There are people die in this book. People are murdered in this book, and basically the murderers get away with it. I don't want to say too much, because if you haven't read it, I've probably put you off already, so you're not going to read it. But I don't want to give out spoilers, just in case you kind of think, well, why is this guy's opinion different to anybody else's? Not for me, I'm afraid. Really not. Really didn't enjoy it. Sorry.
There you go.
Wow, what a difference in opinions! But
Yeah.
I absolutely understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just I liked it to start with, and I just got a bit. I think Richard got up my nose very quickly, and the other, in that lecturer's little group, I just thought, no, you're all just sort of people that I really wouldn't want to know, and I mean, credit to Donna Tartt for, the like I say, the story was great, and the characters were incredibly well drawn, and they really got on my nerves. So I think that's
Yeah.
credit to her writing. That's the thing I say. It's really well written, but it just
Right.
not the book for me.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's totally fine, because not every book is meant for every reader.
no,
But how about this, Donna Tartt? Some news articles have come out over the past couple months about, this actually is based on the college that she went to with Bret Easton Ellis, and these characters are based on people that she went to school with.
oh well, if I start getting hate mail now,
You're not going to. You're not going to. Loosely based. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. I think as well, this is an American college, and I'm in the UK, and I our systems are quite a bit different, I think, when it comes to that.
But this is just to be clear, this is not a community college. This is not a normal college. No. This is borderline Ivy League college.
Yeah.
And only the best of the best are getting into this college. So a lot of us Americans still are out of touch with what happens in this book,
Yeah. Well, me too. I wouldn't have made it in, so
I wouldn't have lasted.
But no, I mean, I don't know. It's the only book of hers I've ever read.
Hmm.
Um, and you know, as I say, if we hadn't been, reading it for this,
Right.
I definitely would have put it. It would have gone to the Village Book Exchange box in fairly short order, and
And
it
some
probably still will.
and somebody will snap it up, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. I might have to go through and rub out all my highlights.
All your criticisms.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. I heard in your video that you said that it's very well written.
Hmm.
So is it just the characters you didn't get along with, or the fact that the story doesn't really wrap up with a bow at the end?
There is that. Yeah, I mean, definitely the characters.
Hmm.
I really, I, every time I picked it up, it was like, I really don't want to know these people. I really don't, just don't. I don't like them. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be friends. So yeah, and I think that was part of the problem was, it's every time I went back to the book, it's like, oh, it's this liar guy again,
Yeah.
and I just no, I just like, didn't want to know. And then the I think actually in some ways the fact that at the end of the book it wasn't all tied up, there was no kind of punishment for the things that had happened,
Hmm.
or,
For
specific
most
punishment.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was kind of like, well, actually, I could see that happening. I could just see that, in some ways it's not like it, not sort of brushed under the carpet kind of thing, but it wasn't, unless somebody was going to kind of confess and tell all,
Mhm.
there was no way really for the facts to be found out, I
Right.
think.
Right.
So I think, it wasn't, yeah, I wasn't too bothered, and it wasn't like done for, well, if I don't, then there's going to be, it's not like she'd done it like some authors will do that so that
Deliberately.
there's a sequel, or
Right.
it's book one of a trilogy. I don't think it was anything that was ever the intention. I think it
Yeah.
was, this is a standalone novel, and that's how she decided to end it. And life's like that. Things
Mhm.
don't get resolved in, nice, pretty,
600
you know,
pages.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think there's something to be said, though, for you to have that reaction every time that you're going to pick up the book, for an author to create a character that ticks your buttons like that. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like that's a true craft.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
that's very hard to do.
Yeah, because
Even though even though you don't like them.
no, and it was the very much the, because, you know, behind the scenes, we obviously set ourselves a deadline for when we were going to read the book,
Yeah.
and I worked out, well, if today is day one, and that's, when it's got to be read by,
Mhm.
I've got to read X number of pages a week.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, oh, I need to read more of The Secret History now. Okay, right.
Drudgery.
Yeah. And actually, what I want to be reading is something, completely
Mhm.
different. Um,
I hear you.
but you know, yeah, it is, you know, it is so well written. I can't fault that. Yeah, I did get
There
a
were
bit, like I said,
there
I
were
think I said, that there are a couple of times, and it's like, I really don't want to know any more about Greek philosophy.
Yeah, there were a couple times when, I just read something. I can't remember the phrasing. I think it was the professor, and he said something like he was talking about kids that were using illicit substances, and
Mm,
he's like, "They're so bovine yet prosaic," and I'm like, that is just like the best synopsis for describing
Yeah.
someone that uses drugs as a cow and as someone that is just completely numbed out. Like I was like, oh my gosh. And then there was another one that caught my attention. She was describing something in a room, and she was talking about the shadows and how the shadows made corners like a cutout,
Mm.
like a cutout cookie cutter or something like that. And I'm like, how she designs the space where you are reading is kind of like, for me, you just get sucked right into this world, and you are sitting there
Mhm.
and you can visualize everything that is in the room, from the furniture to the mirror to
Yeah.
all these different things. And that is writing talent. That is writing
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think I think I will probably pick up something else that she's written. I mean, no, like you say, she hasn't written
Mhm.
a huge number of books, but I am intrigued to see with something else that she's written whether, I have the same reaction. You know,
Yeah. The
uh,
Goldfinch, I've read. I never finished the Goldfinch. I think I got maybe like 30% in, and I just got tired of it.
yeah.
Um, it does place you in the same, she pulls you into that world. She pulls you into that environment again with the descriptive words, with the emotions, with the feelings, there's more tension in that book
Hmm.
um than this one.
Yeah.
But again, that's a 600 page book that
Yeah.
there's a reason why she doesn't publish that many, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Yeah. It takes a
they're all
while.
pretty chunky. Well, this was fun, and I hope that both our reviews are going to pique people's interest to read the book. If you out there have read the book, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We would really
Yeah.
love to hear how you're all engaging. And also, please let us know what you think about this series. Are you interested in watching more? Because we would be really interested to find that out.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about the next book that we're going to read because we haven't picked it yet.
No, we've got some ideas,
Yes.
but yeah, no, we haven't chosen one yet. So
Yeah. So everybody out there, stay tuned. We're going to be doing one of these once a month with the book that we decide to read.
yeah.
All right, Alan. Well, I hope you can recover from dark academia.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think I'll be, you know, charging out to the bookstore to buy any more.
Yeah, well, I mean, Harry Potter is a little dark academia. There's a little bit of that in there, But
Yeah.
it's Harry Potter,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it has that vibe
Yeah.
without the irritating characters.
Yeah.
All right, Alan. Well, let's go offline and let's talk about what we're going to read next.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Please
Yeah.
make sure to subscribe to Alan's channel. And if you're not already subscribed to mine, please do so. We would love to have you as a part of this community. Next month, this is going to be hosted over at Alan's channel. So when that video comes out, I will be sure to share it with you all in my community.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you so much
Bye.
for watching. Bye.
Thanks, MJ.
Thanks, Alan.